can do if I'm very good at what I can do?
That's pretty arrogant. I don't think they do more damage than in the swamp. Biden went on to clarify, however, he wasn't particularly a moral person himself. Interesting admission. Listen to this.
I fortunately had over 3,000 individual contributors. Nobody makes up any more than 1 percentage point of my total budget. Nobody for 1 percentage point gets a hold of that either. Nobody gets any more than a return phone call for that 1%. But it's not because I'm particularly moral. It's because nobody took me seriously.
Biden admitting they'll pretty much do anything to maintain power. Wow. But the most shocking parts of the audio involve his statements about women and minorities. In fact, he made several derogatory jokes about women in the audience. They didn't even think they told me you weren't going to be here. Oh, I wasn't expecting you to be here. Take a listen.
The only analogy I can really think of is a football analogy, and I apologize to you women in the audience for not being able to think of a more appropriate analogy, but they told me here they didn't want you here anyway. I didn't expect any women to be here.
They didn't want women here anyway. I was going to speak to a group of guys. What's that? I came here to talk football. You can't possibly know anything about football. Can you imagine if any Republican said this? The hysteria in the media mob, it would be nonstop. The coverage would be apoplectic, outrage, moral, selective outrage as it usually is. Here's one more. One point in the speech. Biden singled out a woman in the front row, asking a question. Listen to this.
Senator, I find you very articulate. May I ask
I find you very lovely. Come on up.
The rest is not very good.
That's what I thought. That's why I tried to compliment you, so I scare you out of it.
To the best of your knowledge, Senator, do you believe that the Democratic Party has ever been involved in something as atrocious as bugging?
Sure, yes. Yes, I do. But bugging isn't the question, kiddo.
Yeah, kiddo. Okay. Oh, they didn't want you here anyway. This guy is trying to win over what social justice warriors in the Democratic Party, and there's more. At one point, then Senator Biden actually refers to African Americans, what I see as a horrible, degrading word. Listen for yourself.
I think the two-party system, although my Democratic colleagues don't like me saying this, I think the two-party system is good for the South and good for the black in the South.
Now, that's the current frontrunner of the Democratic Party. We reached out to Biden and the Biden campaign for comment. They have yet responded. Now, remember, according to their rules, you must be held accountable for every single word you've ever said and anything you've ever done. That is unless, of course, you're a Democrat and you believe with them. Now, you might want to also remember Joe Biden, well, even in this speech, he praised the known segregationist. And get this. Cleveland.com first reported these disturbing remarks in May of 2019, and I doubt any of you saw this up until now. And nearly everyone in the media mob, they ignored it. Of course they did. Biden, meanwhile, has a long record of weird, offensive, and frankly racial rhetoric. What you just heard is nothing new. Take a listen.
The largest growth in population is Indian Americans moving from India. You cannot go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent. I'm not joking.
What kind of a chance would a northeastern liberal like Joe Biden stand in the South?
Better than anybody else. Man, you don't know my state. My state was a slave state. My state is a border state. My state is the 8th largest black population in the country.
You got the first sort of mainstream African American who was articulate and bright and clean and a nice looking guy. I mean, that's a story.
They're going to put you all back in chains.
First time ever, I'm bright and articulate and clean. African American. This is a storybook. What? You heard that right. Biden once referred to Obama as the first mainstream African American who's articulate, bright, and clean. Why is the radical extreme Socialist Democratic Party lining up behind a very flawed candidate who also praised segregationists? Well, apparently they now have no choice. Elizabeth Warren is officially out. No one liked her. And the other candidate just spent weeks doubling down on his praise of murdering communist dictatorships moments ago during a Fox town hall. President Trump, he was on his A game tonight, offered his own analysis of the Democratic race. Take a look.
So you want to face Joe Biden or Bernie Sanders? That's my question.
I'll tell you, I was all set for Bernie because I thought it was going to happen. You know how we get ready for things, right? So mentally, I'm all set for Bernie. Communist, I had everything down. He's a communist. I was all set. And then we have this crazy thing that happened, right? On Tuesday, which he thought was Thursday. But he also said 150 million people were killed with guns, and he was running for the United States Senate. Support me, I'm running for the United States. There's something going on there. I was all set. I was all set for Bernie. I was ready to go. And then I said, you know, I don't think I'm running against Bernie. I think it's going to be very hard for him to come back.
All right, now, if you're a Joe Biden supporter and you don't have a fastball, if you ever have, you don't have a slow pitch, and you watch President Trump, who are you going to bet on in those debates? President is spot on. But really, the socialists, well, I guess they should be happy either way, because here's the point that I made about Super Tuesday. No one else in the media made. In the lead up to Super Tuesday, Bernie Sanders was doubling down on defending murdering dictators and their regimes. Castro's former Soviet Union, USSR, Daniel Ortega, Venezuela. Well, okay, even Democrats, we can't defend murdering dictatorships. So, but the differences between Bernie and Biden, they're few and far between. And we've got the tape. They both support the new Green Deal. They both support open borders. They both support free health care for illegal immigrants. They both openly vow to raise your taxes. They both want to take away your Second Amendment rights, and the list goes on, and they have extreme positions on abortion. In fact, in 2016, then Vice President Biden, he showered Bernie Sanders with praise. Now, I just wish he didn't call himself a socialist, because everything else is great. He all but endorsed Bolshevik Bernie in 2016 against Hillary. Here's the video.
If Bernie Sanders never said he was a democratic socialist, based on what he's saying, people wouldn't be calling him a democratic socialist. That's how he characterizes himself in sort of European terms, the democratic socialist parties in Europe. But
why is she having trouble?
Well, I think that Bernie is speaking to a yearning that is deep and real, and he has credibility on it.
Oh, deep and real yearning to be what? Cuba? 243 days. Ask yourself, are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? Was the Obama-Biden track record, the Iranian deal, 13 million more Americans, food stamps, 8 million more poverty, lowest labor participation rate since the 70s? Think that was a glowing success? Didn't they fulfill their promise? Did you keep your doctor? Did you keep your plan? Because millions lost them. How did that Iran deal go? How much money did Americans save on health care? Yeah, they didn't really save a lot. On average, we're paying 200% more for health care across the country. In quid pro quo Joe's 5 decades in elected office, did the federal government improve or worsen? Now, in 243 days, this is the biggest choice election in our lifetime. That's just the fact. The good news tonight is this. The sheer enthusiasm for President Trump. This is the untold story of Tuesday. Super Tuesday, President Trump drove a record number of voters to the polls in contests that weren't contested. Look at this in Texas. He got more votes than Biden, Bernie, and Warren combined. It was an uncontested election. Is the media reporting that? He received more votes in Vermont, Minnesota, Massachusetts, Tennessee than any incumbent in the last 4 decades. Colorado, turnout was greater than the past 3 Republican primaries combined. Wow. The media mob, they can try and sweep that under the rug. Numbers don't lie.